Hello and welcome. I'm Mr. Power from Borough Music Service, and this little series of videos or bits of audio or PowerPoint presentation I call Drumming with Mr. Power, and this is week one, workshop one, to work with your children, whether they be at school or at home. You can join in with them, which will be really good. The idea is to get your children to either work by themselves, where they can work along with me, doing all sorts of rhythmical and drumming and percussion ideas and things. They can also work in a group. That could be with you if you're at home, or they can obviously work in groups at school. Like I said, we're going to be looking at simple drumming and percussion techniques. We're going to use things like copycat. If I've worked with your children already in school, which some of you have, they'll know what copycats are. It's basically I'll play a rhythm, and the children will copy it by clapping it, or we can use instruments, which will be really good. Other things we can do are play along. So we've got a piano here, hopefully, that's working. So we'll just play some simple kind of chord progressions to a certain speed and a certain pulse. Whatever, we can do loads of those, and the children will play their rhythms on top of that, whether they clap them or they play them on instruments. It's entirely up to you. We will be looking at reading music as well, which would be really good. If your children read music already, great. If they don't, there's an opportunity to do this right from workshop one. The rhythms that I've got for you are written down as music, but there's a clever way of getting the children to remember what those rhythms are, and we'll show you that in a bit. The material is designed by myself. As I said, I work for Borough Music Service. We're coming to your child's schools, possibly, which is really good fun. And that's why we're doing it, because we want to try and keep the musical learning going, as it were. We've split the material up into 6 weekly workshops, and like I've said before, you can cover it in school or you can cover it at home. Just sit together as a family and go make as much noise as you can, which will be really good for you and especially for your neighbours. But there we go. Your children will need support with this, basically in terms of technology that they need to access, really. So here we go. We start quite simply looking at how rhythms can be put together, and remembering the rhythms by simple food or drink phrases. So to explain that, I'll say to the children, right, we've got a Coca-Cola coffee rhythm, which will be a Coca-Cola coffee. So if we're doing copycats, we'll do Coca-Cola coffee, Coca-Cola coffee. All this will become clear. So when I mention copycats, that's what that means. When I talk about food and drink rhythms, that's what that means. We constantly reinforce the idea of working to a steady beat or a pulse. That's what makes everything work. That's what makes sense of whole the musical work, really. We're going to think about how loud or how quietly we're going to play rhythms. We also need to start gathering hand percussion. Now, I've just got some bits here. Just got a couple of hand percussion things. These may be easily available in school, but I'll show you what you can do if you haven't got anything in school. So things like a guiro, a really funky instrument, really, really good. Love these with it's a grooved instrument. So we talked before Coca-Cola coffee. So that's a really, really good. So a guiro, really cool instrument. I really like that. So other things we've got, sorry, a bit noisy. We've got a guiro that's also a wood block. So or you can turn it into a wood block. Really nice. And now you're thinking, oh, that's great, that Mr. Power, but I haven't got any of that at home. This is where your kitchen utensil come in. Simple plastic bowl, or a frying pan, or a pot or a pan, or anything that the children can hit. You can use wooden spoons. Those can be really noisy for your neighbours. So chopsticks are quite good. I mean, I can use a chopstick on my bongos, which are really good. So, but you can do it on your plastic bowl. So as noisy or quietly as you want to be. Looking at different ways of playing on a bowl, just making as much noise as we can, really. So, and another thing we thought we could do, and I put this into the video later on, is on your phone or on your iPad, you can get something called Garageband, and we can select one of the or the children can select one of the drum kits as an example, and they can play some of their copycat rhythms on one of the drum kit drums or whatever, which would be really good. The children will need access to a PC, a laptop, or a tablet, and like I've said, all the material is delivered in a PowerPoint slideshow. So I'm going to really look forward to working with you. That was just the background for mums, dads, teachers, teaching assistants, just so you know what's going to go on. There is another little bit of audio on the next slide just to go through basic vocabulary and learning outcomes, because those are really important. So we are going to get into a big video where we're just going to make lots of noise, which will be really good. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you in a bit.